What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Elseworlds crossover part 1. So, if you're new to the channel, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video. Now, I was trying to stay up to watch it live here in the UK, but I fell asleep. I was catching up on UFC 231, and I completely and utterly fell asleep. But tonight, I'm going to try and watch it live and do a video right away. But I did avoid spoilers for this. Actually, to be honest, there wasn't really too much to spoil. It was a really, really good episode. And just like the episode of Flash 100, it just filled me with joy. It was just so much fun, so much fan service. And I've actually got friends of mine who haven't watched any of these shows, and they're hyped for Elseworlds. They're literally going to sit down and watch Elseworlds, which is pretty damn cool, to be honest. So I've got people hitting me up, asking me where to start and things like that. So it's pretty cool that people outside of those who watch the shows are excited for this show, this crossover. And to be honest, as a whole, it felt smaller. It felt a lot smaller than Crisis on Earth X, and even Invasion felt smaller than Crisis on Earth X. It was madness, but to be honest, it worked. I was a bit apprehensive going into this crossover, knowing that, well, we're not going to get a huge galactic spanning, dimension spanning show, which I was a bit disappointed about, especially after last year's crossover being so amazing and it being so huge. But there is only so much they can do, and Legends are going to have an Easter egg in this in some point. They will be featured in some way. We've got 3 more episodes to go, really, and I completely forgot that the Flash was starting, so I like the fact that the Flash kicked it off. Got Arrow, then Supergirl, so actually, to be honest, we've only got 2, so that's a bit of a shame there. I thought I was getting another episode, but I completely forgot that. But overall, it was fun. That's my one-word review. If you had to say describe it in one word, I would say fun. There wasn't as many Easter eggs as I was expecting, but the ones that they do drop in are massive. So we start off, we see the little prologue here with the 90s Flash being canonized. We see Justin Hartley's Smallville Flash on the floor, Stargirl, and it's really weird because I'm guessing it's not actually going to be the Smallville Superman Arrow, because really it's strange that they got all these characters. I'm guessing these are all characters from that, and they all have very 90s, early 2000s kind of outfits as well. So I guess that's the vibe they're going for. It is Earth 90, so we're going to be going back to the 90s there as well, which is pretty cool. I'm okay with that, to be honest. But John Deegan appears here. He was in Lost. I think off the top of my head he was Faraday in there, but I could be completely wrong. And he was awesome in Lost. I loved him in Lost. Lost is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. So seeing him return here was really, really fun. And the fact that he was like dropping eugenics, he was like, yeah, let's do some eugenics, guys. And he was just like the shock figures like that. Everyone calling him out for eugenics. But he wants to help. And it seems like his motives come from good places, which is the theme of 2018's villains, with Thanos coming from a good place, really, even though he was a brutal guy. I guess the only way to defeat Thanos these days is to dig up old homophobic tweets, which I saw that on Twitter. Someone tweeted that, and it was hilarious. I loved that. But the Monitor here, the Monitor, if you don't know anything about the Monitor, he was the character who, in the biggest, kind of like the most original crossover of all time, Crisis on Infinite Earths, he assembled a team to protect the multiverse. Earths were dying because the Anti-Monitor was killing them. The Monitors are, for all intents and purposes, the DC version of the Watchers. So you are to the Watcher in Marvel. You saw them briefly in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and of course, well, they've been in the comics forever. And this is a different version. So this is the Monitor, and then in New 52 we had like loads of them. It's weird, but this is the Monitor. And he assembled a group to take on the Anti-Monitor. And worlds were dying. We saw red skies. And we saw the red skies in this as well. I've seen a lot of you who should really know better. This was from the comics. Yes, red skies vanish, but you're not mentioning Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, whatever. But this is leading up to Barry going missing as well. So possibly this is an effect of Nora changing the timeline. This has probably brought the crisis back earlier. This doesn't seem like it's going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I definitely do think that this is going to be a prelude to that. So moving forward, we're probably going to be setting up quite a lot. And this was very much set up. We saw Vibe, he saw the Monitor there as well. So he is stupidly powerful here, guys. He is ridiculously powerful. Now, in a theory video, the book that he gives to John Deegan, I did say that in the map of the multiverse, we saw someone holding a book, and I'm going to presume it's that. I'm just going to throw it out there. I couldn't find anything on this book that was near the Overvoid, which is beyond the Source Wall, which has recently been absolutely destroyed, and we're getting weird shit going on. So pretty much he gives him the book to rewrite reality, and he has vision, and he wants to do good with it. And I guess the Monitor, we don't really know his motivations. I can't really predict his motivations just yet, other than the fact he's probably going to want to save the multiverse in some way. But the body swap was hilarious. I loved it. It kind of filled up a bit too much of the episode, to be honest, when we saw them. And I found it weird that the Team Flash didn't actually believe him. I mean, come on. We've had people who went back in time to change when Barry became the Flash, and that was his mortal enemy throughout history, and they don't believe that someone could swap bodies or lives. I guess they haven't really technically swapped bodies. They swapped lives, but they retain the powers of each other. So, as Grant Gustin's Flash said, it is a quantum leap. It's just their minds have been ported. It's absolutely bizarre. It's a really weird way of doing things, to be honest, but I think it worked here than simply just swapping bodies. And it was fun to see, but it's really strange. And I love the fact that the Arrow and the Flash writers dunked on themselves by saying that, well, Felicity started the quarterbacking thing when Oliver was calling them out. And I find it really weird that they have to become like each other to stop, really, Amazo and use each other's powers. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see an angry Barry, which obviously led to Savitar, and we're going to see a happy Oliver who can phase and do all kinds of crazy madness. Notice that Nora is missing from this, so I'm not sure where she is. They may have referenced it. I may have missed it, to be honest. I was watching it when I literally just woke up, so I may have missed that. So let me know in the comments if you know where she is. But we have Amazo be the villain, and I love the fact that we had them work out each other's powers. Some really great scenes there. But seeing them with Amazo, who is a pretty much kind of, it's not really a huge character, to be honest. We saw the ship that says Amazo in Arrow, and Dr. Ivo is dead as well, so I guess it's some sort of real descendant of that character who created Amazo. And it's interesting that they're creating a sort of Amazo Sentinel, just like the Sentinels in X-Men. They're using this possibly to hunt down metahumans, and that's going to be interesting. They may do that storyline moving forward there as well in The Flash. But we know that Cicada is still on the run. They haven't caught him yet as well. But they have to take on Amazo, which is the MacGuffin of this episode. And to be honest, because the whole episode was so good, that's why I allowed and kind of gave them a pass for Amazo, to be honest. And I found it weird that Oliver just got absolutely knocked the F out by... Yeah. But they decide, that's it. Let's go to Earth 38, and it happened. They did it. Smallville is canon. You know what? I don't care what you say. It is canon here, right now. Called it a year and a half ago that Earth 38 is Smallville canon. So yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm hype. It was amazing having that return. Same kind of tracking shot. Same farm, and funnily enough, it was the same farm that was used on the recent episode of Riverdale, which is actually pretty funny. I saw that on Twitter. I'm not actually up to date on Riverdale. I just watched the Goblins and Gargoyles episode, and this season has been pretty good. I've actually really enjoyed Riverdale. But we see it, Smallville. Lois Lane was great. Didn't like the whole, I make less than you on the dollar bit. I mean, can we just leave the politics? Can we just kind of leave that at the door? We don't want to talk about that, to be honest. And at the end of the day, he is Superman. He is Superman. So let's just leave that stuff, the gender wage gap, away, because that is just Just stupid putting that in there, to be honest. But other than that, she was good. She was off planet. We mentioned that they have been to Krypton. I think the flash just ran by my camera there. But it was just really cool. And they kind of addressed the fact that the reason he didn't help with Agent Liberty and everything like that is because, well, he's been off planet. So, but as a whole, it was just amazing. So next week we're going to Gotham City. We saw Batwoman on top a huge tower, and to me that looked similar to the clock tower where Aura works out of with the Birds of Prey, and currently in Detective Comics where her base was. She's kind of left the whole Bat family, and there's craziness going on. But at the start of DC Rebirth, she did have a base there as well. So again, a really, really good episode. So much fun. Monitor, craziness. It's not really Elseworlds. We haven't really seen any kind of Elseworlds craziness yet, which is a bit of a shame. I thought we would go to different Earths. I was hoping we would see crazy kind of madness, but next week, possibly, that's where we're going to get it. So overall, great episode. 2 thumbs up. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.